Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, with the fate of nations hanging in the balance. That's where we are today, as Russia issues a stark ultimatum to Ukraine. This isn't just another headline. It's a pivotal moment that could shape the future of Europe and the world. Stay with us as we uncover Putin's critical demands and what they mean for Ukraine's sovereignty and global peace. In April 2022, during crucial talks in Istanbul, Russia and Ukraine reached an important agreement. This deal required Russian troops to withdraw from northern and eastern Ukraine, a move that was supposed to ease the conflict. However, once Russia pulled back its forces, Ukraine did not follow through on its part of the agreement. This failure to comply only escalated the tension between the two nations. Following this, Russia went on to annex 4 regions: Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson. These territories are now firmly under Russian control and are very unlikely to be returned to Ukraine, adding another layer of complexity to the situation. The annexation of these regions not only intensified the conflict, but also complicated any future negotiations, as these areas hold significant strategic and economic value for both nations. In June 2024, a significant peace summit took place in Switzerland. This was a crucial event aimed at finding solutions to the ongoing conflict. However, Russia's absence from this important meeting was striking and raised many questions. Additionally, other key global players like China and Brazil did not participate, and even American President Joe Biden was notably absent. This lack of participation from major world powers cast a shadow over the summit's potential effectiveness. The absence of these influential countries suggested a lack of consensus and highlighted the deep divisions within the international community regarding the Ukraine crisis. Just before this summit, Putin made a bold offer to Ukraine. He demanded that Ukraine withdraw its forces from the regions Russia had annexed: Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson. He also insisted that Ukraine recognize these areas, along with Crimea, as Russian territory. But that wasn't all. Putin's demands included that Ukraine must stay neutral and not join NATO. This was a significant condition, reflecting Russia's long-standing opposition to NATO's expansion. Putin promised that the moment Ukraine agreed to these terms, an immediate ceasefire would begin. This ceasefire would open the door for direct negotiations between Russia and Ukraine, potentially paving the way for peace. The proposal was clear but carried profound consequences. It required Ukraine to make substantial concessions that would alter its territorial integrity and geopolitical stance. This ultimatum was not just a straightforward list of demands. It was a significant and strategic move by Russia to solidify its control over the annexed regions and prevent Ukraine from aligning more closely with Western powers. Accepting these terms would mean Ukraine conceding vital parts of its territory and effectively ending its aspirations to join NATO, thereby limiting its ability to forge stronger ties with Europe and the United States. The decision facing Ukraine was monumental, involving not only the immediate impacts on its territorial boundaries, but also the long-term implications for its sovereignty and political independence. Ukraine's leadership was under immense pressure, needing to weigh the potential for peace against the heavy price of these concessions. The stakes were incredibly high, and the future of Ukraine's alignment on the global stage hung in the balance. However, Ukraine quickly rejected Putin's demands, saying they were like surrendering. Ukrainian officials made it clear that they would not compromise on their country's independence or its borders. By saying no to Russia's demands and not offering any counterproposal, Ukraine might have lost a key chance to start peace talks. In the current situation, this decision could be seen as a missed opportunity to negotiate and potentially end the conflict. On the ground, things are still very tense. Although there haven't been big changes in territory, Russia keeps bringing more troops and military equipment to the front lines. The buildup of Russian forces is a clear indication that they are preparing for a significant escalation. This constant movement of troops and equipment shows that Russia is serious about increasing its military presence and is not backing down. The continuous reinforcement of Russian positions suggests that they are preparing for a major offensive, which could dramatically shift the balance on the battlefield. Reports show that if Russia starts a large attack, Ukraine's defense lines might not hold. This could create a domino effect, where Ukrainian forces have to keep retreating, possibly all the way back to the Dnipro River. If this happens, Ukraine could lose even more land. The situation is very serious, and the risk of losing more territory is high. The ongoing mobilization of Russian troops and the difficulties faced by Ukrainian forces paint a grim picture of the potential for further conflict and territorial losses. If you're finding this analysis helpful and want to stay informed about global political events, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There's much more to uncover, so let's keep going. Ukraine is desperately waiting for weapons from the West, but that's not their only problem. They also have issues with not having enough soldiers and difficulties in getting more people to join the army. Even if the weapons arrive on time, they might not have enough trained soldiers to use them effectively. The challenges are not just logistical, but also strategic, as Ukraine needs to ensure that it has the manpower and the capability to use these advanced weapons systems properly. The shortage of troops and the struggle to maintain a robust defense force underline the critical vulnerabilities in Ukraine's military strategy. The risk is very real. If Ukraine's defense lines are broken, they might have to retreat even further, losing more and more ground. This would be a major setback. While Western support is very important, it might not be enough to change the situation. Ukraine could keep losing territory unless they can solve these manpower and mobilization issues. The ongoing struggles to mobilize and train sufficient forces highlight the immense challenges Ukraine faces on the ground. The continuous pressure from Russian forces and the internal difficulties within Ukraine's military structure pose a serious threat to their ability to hold the line. We want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Ukraine should have negotiated with Russia? What are your predictions for the coming months? Leave a comment below and join the conversation. The support of Western countries and the incremental steps we're seeing are pushing us dangerously close to a larger conflict, potentially even World War III. The involvement of NATO and other Western allies has significantly increased the stakes, making the geopolitical landscape even more volatile. The delicate balance of international relations is being tested as countries navigate the complex dynamics of support and opposition, each step bringing us closer to a potential global conflict. If you're interested in understanding how these dynamics are unfolding and what it means for global stability, check out our video, Europe's Dangerous Game, where we break down the steps leading us towards a potential global conflict. This video dives deeper into the geopolitical maneuvers and the risks involved, providing a comprehensive look at how close we might be to a larger war. Understanding these intricate developments is crucial as we move forward in these uncertain times. Thanks for watching and see you next time.